Merry Christmas, everyone. This is Steve with the Aptera Owners Club. In this video, I just happened to notice this article in Innovato News. Innovato News is a digital newspaper, I guess, out of Switzerland. It's in Italian, which interestingly is one of the official languages of Switzerland. And you see right here, if you use, I'll put a link to this article in the description below. And if you go and use like Chrome or a couple other browsers, they will translate it to whatever language you want, and you can read the article for yourself. So a lot of this article is stuff that we all know. So the title's A Little Californian, A Little Emilion. This is the first true solar car. Um, and I was wondering what the Emilion came from, but I guess this is the valley is called the Emilia Romagna Motor Valley. I'm probably butchering that, but Modena, Italy. And they're basically talking about CPC and their collaboration with Aptera. And there was a couple of interesting parts in this article, and they were the quotes from Franco Iorio, the CEO of CPC. He says the Aptera represents a change from the conventional thinking of the past. We want to be part of this future, and that's why we will join the Aptera movement. We will build the bodies of their only solar vehicle in the heart of the Motor Valley, allowing the Californian automaker to scale production immediately to meet the high demand for their first vehicle. So, as we know, CPC was founded in 1959, and they originally started as like a metalworking and tooling, but then they have transitioned mostly to composite materials. Having made the transition from aluminum to composite materials, CPC has established itself over the last decade as one of the world's most respected companies for specialized composite solutions in the automotive sector. Clients include Ferrari, Lamborghini, McLaren, Maserati, BMW, Lotus, and more. So yeah, like we said in the previous video when they first announced this collaboration with CPC, CPC is basically a producer of carbon fiber bodies for supercars. So essentially, we are getting the same company that makes bodies for these supercars like Ferrari, Lamborghini, McLaren, building the Aptera body, which is very exciting, actually. So Steve Fambro says of the collaboration, when we met with CPC together with Sandy Monroe, so obviously it seems like Sandy Monroe did this introduction. I think Sandy Monroe realized that the honeycomb sandwich core body was not scalable and they needed to do something that was more scalable. So he introduced them to CPC Group, and we realized a true synergy whereby the most efficient vehicle in the world could be made with the most efficient process. For several months, our engineers have been working closely with CPC to finalize our Delta project, and now those efforts are materializing with a major step towards volume production. And from their video before, it looks like they've been working with CPC for about a year and a half, according to the representative from CPC. Um, so with more than 37,000 reservations, Aptera aims to begin deliveries in 2023 and achieve large-scale production rate of 40 vehicles a day at its final assembly plant in Carlsbad, California, which will be preceded by a similar structure in Modena. So I don't really know what they mean by that. It's a translation of an Italian article, so I don't know, if something was missed in the translation, but it does seem like they're saying that they're going to have another assembly plant in Modena. Um, I don't think that's happening though. That doesn't make sense. One thought process is the hub motors are coming from Slovenia. The body is being made at CBC in Modena. So the supply chain would be closer to an assembly plant there, but the number of reservations from Europe is quite low, and it can't reach homologation in Europe without changing the design of the vehicle to be less wide. I think they can sell a few sporadically as kind of like one-off special vehicles to people, but they will need to modify this vehicle to meet standards for the European market. So I don't think that they're making a full assembly plant in Modena. I think what this sentence is saying, and if someone reads Italian, please read this article in Italian and tell us what this is saying. But I think it means that it's being preceded by some assembly of the bodies in Modena, maybe as a trial. But I just don't think that they're making another assembly plant in Modena. Although that is a possibility. Um, but there's definitely a final assembly plant in Carlsbad, California. And then they talk a little bit about CPC Group. It has over 850 employees and a production capacity of 500,000 finished parts per year. And they plan on doubling their capacity to 1 million parts per year. So they definitely have the capacity to supply Aptera. Aptera may be the highest volume body that they've ever done because usually they work with supercars, which are not very high volume vehicles. And so this may turn out to be the highest volume vehicle that they do. Anyway, I will link this in the description below. Someone who knows Italian, please read it in Italian and let us know if we've missed anything. But I think it's kind of cool to see an article about the Aptera in the foreign press. This is in Switzerland, but obviously the part of Switzerland that borders Italy where Italian is used more commonly. And as we know, Modena is in the northern part of the country near Switzerland, so that makes sense. All right. Well, again, Merry Christmas, everyone, and I hope everyone's having a great holiday.